Hello, my honeys. Many of you email me or private message me or even leave comments. Many comments do I have of, what advice can you give me before I start nursing school? Or, a lot of this can even probably in some way or another apply to prereq classes as well. So some of these things I kind of wish I knew before I started. Some of these things you're going to find out on your own. My classmates have chimed in here or there, and I've written down their ideas and their comments and stuff too. So this is kind of a collaboration of our experiences through our first semester of nursing school. So take what you want and throw away the rest, as my friend Patrick would say. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. So Patrick, that one's for you. Okay, I miss all my classmates. Okay, anyway, let me get started. I have my notes here because I really wanted to do a thorough job with this. Hopefully this is will be a part one video, might be part two, but that's okay because I really think that these are all great tips and pieces of advice. So first off, I'm going to start with answering questions from my video about my recorder. A recorder is vital. It is, I understand funds and things are expensive, but if you can get a recorder, a decent recorder, that's going to make clinicals so much nicer for you, especially if you have to sit in the back or if your classmates around you talking. That's why it's kind of important for a good recorder. Mine is made by Sony. It's called Sony IC Recorder. It looks like this. I got it 2 years ago. Actually, I got it, oh my gosh, sorry about the glare. I got it 2 years ago before my prereq classes, so I used it a lot for anatomy and physiology and micro especially, and it really helped me get through. It does take AAA batteries, but also on the back you can shove this down and click it into here and into your computer, or it also goes in my car. It hooks up to my audio thing, so it goes through the speakers. I haven't tried it on my iHome. Why haven't I thought about doing that? I usually just put my earbuds in and stick this in a pocket when I'm doing the dishes or when I am cooking dinner or out working in the yard or whatever. Re-listening to lecture helps so much. So much. Okay? Here's the book with some of the serial numbers on it. I hope you can read all of that. But again, it's by Sony. I spent probably about $65 on it. There are less expensive ones. My girlfriend has one, but there's a lot of muffling. The voices aren't as crisp and clear. And there's a few classes where I was in the back of the classroom, not by choice. Everybody wants the front. But I was able to hear my instructor just fine. Okay, with that being said, if you're an ice cruncher like me, which is bad, don't do that. You can hear it on your recorder, so just your snack bags, whatever, it's going to pick it up, obviously, because you're right there. But it most definitely picks up the front of the classroom. Very nice. Okay, it's a very good recorder. In the beginning, probably a week or two before your classes start, our school uses Blackboard, as many schools do. Your instructor will use your school email and get in touch with the whole class as one, and they will let you know that the syllabus is up, which is your class schedule. It's going to give you chapters to read, what dates things are due, whether, sometimes you won't know about pub quizzes, but the tests will be on there, the finals will be on there. You definitely want to print that out, as well as the learning objectives for that class, and they'll say, it's a sheet of paper that says learning objectives. Those are things they have to teach you for that class. So definitely that's going to help you decipher when you're going through your book and things, what is the need to know information you should find and the nice to know information. Nice to know information is nice to know, but you definitely need the need to know first. And in the beginning, if I haven't had an instructor yet who did not put their PowerPoints online, copy them all off in the beginning before class starts. When I first started, I was doing a week at a time, okay? But what happened was sometimes they had to jump around, or something was taking longer than expected, or we got through something faster, so they moved on, and I didn't have those PowerPoints ready, so that was very hard for me. So My advice to you is print them all out and keep them with you in your binder. That way you have them. So if they, and I have it tabbed by chapter, so if they decided to switch around chapters 10 and 20, I had them tabbed. It was an easy, quick find, and I could rock and roll. I did 4 to a page. I did front and back, and I did grayscale. I saved my color for things that I really wanted to break down, whether it was a chart maybe or something. But anything I needed to add, like during lecture, they would pretty much follow these PowerPoints because they're going to be up in front of the classroom and they're going to sit there and they're going to talk off these PowerPoints. But there was always added information that might not be on the PowerPoint that they kept saying, but they elaborated on. Write that stuff down. It's very, very important, and more times than not, that was also included on our test. Pay attention if an instructor repeats something, or if they stress something, or if they, put their hand on their book, or they point to something, or if they say, need to know, you need to star it, and you need to know it, and you need to remember it. Those are just very key. They're key. Okay. With that being said, you're also going to get many chapters they want you to read before class starts, okay? Be kind to yourself and realize you may not get through every single word in a chapter, especially once class starts. Now, the beginning of school, before school starts, you might have the week or two and you might have a lot of time. If you can get everything read, then that's fine too. But here's a quick tip, and I just brought out my maternity book. Okay, so I don't know why I picked out this particular. Okay, so this is the beginning of the chapter, obviously. You might have your book might have some key terms or some definitions. Definitely know these, but also know that throughout the text, these will be bolded in here, so you will be able to find them very easy. So it'll have the term and what it means, okay? So I would highlight that in my book. These are also the learning objectives. These may match or be 1 or 2 off of what your teacher's learning objectives are for the class, but they should match pretty much. I definitely followed and was able to answer all the learning objectives that my teacher gave me, and then I would find the ones that might be in addition to here that they didn't do, and I would find them in my book. But what I want you to know is if they make a table out of information, a box, if they highlight something, one of my instructors told me, if the author of this book goes to that much trouble to make a box, a table, or highlight something, it's a need to know information. So definitely pay attention to those types of things. And these are the same as for your prereqs, okay? See, here's some bolded Braxton Hicks contractions. These are things you need to know. Okay, so if it's bolded, highlighted, or in a table or a diagram, really, really concentrate on that information before all of the other, the fluff, the nice to know information. This is the need to know information. Okay, so be kind to yourself and know that you may not get all the reading in, but if you can at least do that along with your PowerPoints and your lecture, have those guide your study times, okay? Again, like I said, re-listening to lecture, I would follow along with my PowerPoints while I'm listening, if I could, if I wasn't doing the dishes or something. That helped a whole lot. My grades actually, as I went through the semester, they picked up and I got better. Know that you're going to, probably for the first time, experience scenario type questions, case studies, and select all that apply questions. So the select all that apply questions are ones like they'll give you a question and they'll say select all that you might need to do, or select all that apply to this situation. And no, if you pick one too many or one too few, the whole question's wrong. So that's very hard to get used to at first, but you will get better at them, I promise you. I was horrible in the beginning, and my first test wasn't the best ever. I got a C, a low C, but it really scared me to just try and don't steer clear from those. Do more, do more. Get these NCLEX books I've been preaching to you about. Pick one up. There are those type of questions in the back of each chapter in your textbooks. There's places online. that you can go to get these types of questions. And the more you do them, the better you get. The scenario-based questions, it's just going to be like when you're a nurse in the hospital. Someone's going to come in and they're going to be like, I'm sweating and my heart's really beating really fast and I feel kind of lightheaded and dizzy and I don't know, I mean, I ate, I feel fine, you know. So you're going to have to figure all of this out by what they're saying. Those are scenario type of questions. And it's nothing like prereqs where it was just information you read and you tested on it, or you memorized and you tested on it. So be kind to yourself and realize that's going to take some time. Oh, I'm cruising right along here. I had a classmate, he really liked to map out PowerPoints. I want to keep saying concept map, but I know that that's not true. He'd have the main concept here, and then it would branch off and have a couple different concepts there, and they would just keep branching off, you know, all your main idea, and then all the sub-main ideas, and then the details were all off of that. And I'm having a little brain fluff. Can't think of what that's called. Sorry, John. But John loved those, and it really helped him study, and that was his tip. Also, draw a picture. If you can't really put it down into words, but you can draw it out or draw it in a way that you can remember, do that. And I guarantee you when you're on the test, you're going to remember what you drew. Use color if that works for you. I have a video on what type of learner you are. Check that video out. It's very helpful. And I'll probably be updating that soon as well. So paying attention to the boxes and the lecture notes and things like that, that helps you differentiate what to study, because you can't study everything. Study the need-to-know information first, which is what I told you how to find in your book and your lecture and your PowerPoints, versus your nice-to-know information, which is just the extra things that would be nice to know someday, or when you have more time you can look into that, okay? Please realize that you made your program. You're in this nursing program, so you absolutely can make it through this nursing program. And go in positive, excited. If you saw how excited I was on my first day of nursing school video, I came home on cloud 9. I was completely overwhelmed, but it's just, you made it this far, and you're there, and you're doing it. So be happy. Don't get discouraged quick. There might be days where you are, but just know that it's all part of the game, not game, but it's all part of it. It all ties together. Good days and bad days go hand in hand, but I think if you expect that, then it's not so much of a shock when you do have a hard time, as opposed to you going in being 4.0, I know everything, I never had to work hard before in my life, I'm good, I've got it, because you know what? You're going to slip and you're going to fall and you're going to hurt your bum when you do it. So, you know, don't be that challenging student who always wants to try and say they know more than the instructor or other classmates, because collaboration, team collaboration starts right now in nursing school, okay? Know that it takes time to settle in and get a routine in. You can take these tips and tricks I'm giving you. If something really did not work for you well, try something here. But if something really worked really well for you before in your prereqs, don't change it up then. Try it out and see if it still works for you in nursing school. You'll figure that out really, really quick because it's such a fast pace, okay? So if it's not broken, don't fix it. Just keep going, but know that you might have to tweak it a little bit. And each class in nursing school is different. Each instructor is different. So you're going to have to do this with each class more than likely. I'm going to have to, that's part 1. So stay with me and we'll continue on part 2. Be back in a minute.